here we go with part 2 of the review. Thank you for watching again. Alright, sales tax in Michigan is 6%. The price of a TV is $450. Write an equation to show the total cost, relationship between total cost and, I don't know why it didn't show up, it should say P price. So that was probably a little confusing. This is the equation part. So what we've got to understand is that we're going to pay 100% of the price. And we're also going to pay another 6% of the price. See my big dot means multiply? Because 100% of the price is going to go to the store, 6% of the price is going to go to the government for tax. What that means is we're going to pay 106% of the price. So what I'm asking you to do is write this equation for total cost, C. The total cost is 100% of the price and another 6% of the price. And the way I can show that is 100% of the price plus 6% of the price, and I put those in parentheses so I know I would add those first, times the price. So my cost would be 106% of, let's multiply, the price. And I know what the price is, so I can replace that with $450. The other equation that would be acceptable would be the cost is 1.06 times the price of $450, because 106%, 106 out of 100 is the same as 1.06. So now I want to find the total cost of the TV. I could do it with a proportion if I want. I could solve this equation if I want. It would just be 1.06 times 450. But I'll do a proportion. I know that the price before tax is $450. I know that tax is going to be 6% of that amount. So the tax is going to be $27. 6 times 450 divided by 100, $27. So I've got to add that to my price. So my price, the part that the store gets, is $450. And the tax, the part that the government gets, is $27. So my total cost is going to be $477. Could have also solved this in one step, because I know that I'm going to pay 100% of the price to the store and 6% of the price to the government, so I'm going to pay 106% of the price total. 100% to the store, 6% to the government. So I solve this proportion, 106 times 450 divided by 100, and I would get $477. Alright, moving on. See, sales tax is just a before and after problem. Gratuity is a fancy word for tip. So I want to tip 30% of the cost of my meal, $25. I want to tip 30% of that. So you might be able to do this mentally. You'd still have to show how you did it. But I can solve this proportion. Here's my missing value. So 30 times 25 divided by 100. And I get a gratuity amount of $7.50. So on a receipt, I would write that in as a gratuity, the amount of tip, $7.50. And then I would add the tip plus the subtotal to get the total that I would be paying. The cost of the meal and the cost of the tip, the gratuity. Remember, gratuity is like leaving money on the table. Okay, so Gary sells vacuum cleaners for a living. We're going to be writing an equation. I even put 21, learning target 21 there. He earns 12% commission on the dollar amount he sells. And I need to write an equation to show the relationship between Gary's commission, C, and the dollar amount he sells, S. Well, I know that his commission is 12% of whatever he sells. This is an S. So his commission is 12% times the amount he sells. Commission is 12% of the amount of sales. It's just like the amount of tax problem. Remember, the amount of tax is, say sales tax is 6%. 6% times the price. It's just like that. Only this time it's commission. We take 12% of the amount he sells to get the amount of commission. So I could solve this equation. I could just put in, if my equation is cost is 12% times the amount he sells, I know the amount he sells in number 11 is $8,500, and I would just be solving by multiplying 12%, not 12, but 12%, which is 12 hundredths, or 0.12, 12 hundredths, times 8,500, and I would get a cost of commission of $1,020. That's what Gary gets. I can do that, or I could use a proportion, the good old percent proportion. There's the 100. I know he gets 12% of whatever he sells. So he sells $8,500. He gets paid 12% of that. So I solve, and I get $1,020. Either way works. Finally, Daisy puts $450 in the bank at 2% simple interest per year, and she's going to leave the money in the bank for 4 years. So my interest is my principal times the interest rate times the amount of time in years. So the principal in this, that's the amount she put in the bank, $450. The rate of interest is 2%. Now that is not 2. Don't put 450 times 2. That's not it. It's 2%, which is 2 hundredths, 0.02. Remember tenths, hundredths? That's 2 hundredths times 4 years. So the amount of interest she earns is 450 times 0.02 times 4, and it's $36.